Hello again, squaddies, and welcome back once again. I'm still not sure, am I the bad guy? This is Magicka 2. Of course, obviously the sequel to Magicka 1. This follows on directly from the main storyline of Magicka 1, running through the kind of interquel game that they made called Wizard Wars, which was unfortunately kind of short-lived. It was a fun game. I just don't think they ever got the player base they needed for it, which understandable. There's a lot of arena combat games out there, and Wizard Wars was a little bit more complicated considering it was basically it was a 4-on-4 style combat game with a capture and hold mechanic was one of the main game modes, based around being a wizard from this universe. So you had people that would just be throwing out beam spells, shotgun spells, projectile spells, everything, sprays, and you had magics that you could use, like the big epic spells, including like the ability to rain meteors on people. It was a little bit of an ARTS game, kind of like Dota or League, but again, it had more of a capture and hold mechanic. Like it'd be capture points. That's the term. So the basic storyline is after defeating Asator and what's his name? Grimnir. After defeating Grimnir and Asator at the end of 1, magic gets a little funky, which leads to wizards trying to control it and fighting over power, which leads to the Wizard Wars. The end of the Wizard Wars causes a little bit more weirdness. We'll see when we get into the prologue. Okay. Like it says, open the door and enter Midgard without wizards. Until now, that is. Now, there are a lot of stuff. Like, there's familiars to deal with. There's Murray, boost damage after kills and revives you. Pit Manager, boost elements at random and revives you. Fairy simply revives you when you die, or no familiar. We're gonna take Murray. Do this on normal, hard, which, as you can see, focus regeneration rate is halved. Enemies have extra health, you have less health. There is extra friendly fire damage, which would be a problem, but it's not. And then enemies heal up 50 HP per second. There's also Bananas difficulty, which is absurd. And then you can also do custom artifacts, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to do this on normal for now. And yes, Vlad has multiple different hands, including one that's just him, that's an empty stump with him spurting blood. Not entirely sure how he lost his hand. I love the fact that one of them is a Lego hand.
Ah, a visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever. I mean, stay as long as you wish, and I will tell you a story of wizards. Just wizards, no vampires.
Sure.
Once upon a time, in a land known as Midgard, there was the noble order of magic. The wizards of the order lived in a great castle called Aldraheim, where they studied the fine art of spellcasting. They often lent a helping hand to the less gifted inhabitants of Midgard, defending them against monsters, running fetch quests, and at times, even saving the world.
Most often destroying things, though. Let's be honest here.
The Order of Magic began to expand into new frontiers, founding new schools all over Midgard. However, this short time of prosperity would come to a brutal end.
The Wizard
An
Wars.
evil presence infiltrated the Order of Magic and sowed the seeds of civil war between the schools, marking the beginning of the legendary Wizard Wars. As the wars raged on, the wizards' numbers dwindled. After dying and being revived countless times, they began to deteriorate.
Yeah.
At the end of the wars, only a handful of wizards remained. Blabbering, violent, confused, never invited to parties. Their purpose and sanity unraveled. Without their protectors around to accidentally burn the crops, kill all the livestock, and incinerate most of the townspeople, the humans rejoiced and entered what came to be known as the Golden Age of Man. In this time of relative peace and calm, the gentle winds of time ruffled the sensitive braids and beards of the seers of the world. The greatest of them all was Nostrir the Soothsayer, and his vision was clear. A child, infused with all the stray magical energies released during the devastating Wizard Wars, had been born somewhere in Midgard. Once of age, this child would possess limitless power over the elements, and thus the ability to make the world a better place, free of suffering for all.
Yeah, no.
But the prophecy also spoke of a shadow.
That looks familiar.
A shadow which intends to seize all of Midgard. And for its first step, it would prevent the child from ever realizing her power. These dark tidings at hand, the handsome teacher Vlad decided to end his well-deserved multi-decade-long vacation and travel back to Castle Aldraheim. There he hoped to find 1 to 4 brave wizards to whom he could give the glorious quest of saving the world.
Yeah, I still don't know if I'm the bad guy or not, because, I mean, those shadows look suspiciously like robed wizards. He's got a Lego hand this time.
Trollgubbe, je vandrar kvarter om tiden.
40 years.
Kastler Poof. Visignate de
House of
Aldraheim. Se opportuni,
That'd be me.
Hjälpt av Kissy.
Sorting cat.
Elde. Ne har ritterlig quest de hjälp i Midgard und så vidare. Platski pratski dalski. Atmas vattnas.
Dusting goblins. Yeah.
Backe slotter kan ve vettig merig.
The control scheme was changed a bit, and you'll notice I'm a little floatier in terms of movement. Also, yes, you can just hold Earth or Life Magic to heal yourself continually. It also does more if you heal, if you do more magic in it. You can only hold it for a certain amount of time, of course. I think. Yep, there we go. Fire magic. It's a little bit more gamey this time than it was last time, although last time it was still pretty gamey. Alright, since I've got Earth's magic, now I'm gonna go back here and do something real quick, because there's actually an achievement you can get right off the bat. And it's also a reference to the first game. If you go over here, you don't want to fall down, but if you can actually hit, if you do what I'm about to do, not that. There you go. You get an achievement called Pet Cemetery if you go to there and break the skeleton of Behold the Watcher. Also, you don't slow down quite as much in this one if you have magics ready to channel. You can also set a reticle. The reticle is off by default. I decided to put it on just because. Yes, I just killed myself. That's a very dead goblin. How to spell, Chapter 1. Combine to make spells. The 5 elements. Yep. There's a reason I'm coming over here. Because there's another achievement you can get. Enter a goblin known as the Cheese King. Are you cheese? I guess he has more. I guess he has many friends, because no one has as many friends as the man with many cheeses, as Larian has told us. But yeah, you kill this guy, which is not all that difficult. You can get the cheese slicer as a sword. Low physical damage, low death damage. Yes, it's no longer arcane. It's now death. I still don't know how to. I forget how to swing my sword. It'll tell me in a bit, or I could check the control scheme. gonna do the same thing I did last time with Magicka 1, where I just do like one mission per thing. You also notice the graphics are actually quite improved, because I mean the first one was a very like a shoestring budget. This is a much higher budget game. Alright, this gives us how to spell chapter 2. Cast a spell. Forward cast by pressing and holding right click, self cast by middle clicking, area cast with shift middle click, weapon cast, shift right click. Okay, so it's shift right click to swing your weapon.
Ooh.
Right, let's go ahead and get this. Shield. Also, yes, you can go in here, talk to this guy, because this is a Wizard Wars veteran. Who my friends have returned from the war. Should have stayed too, but someone had to come back. Yeah, you can actually fight all these Wizard Wars veterans. They have a ton of health, and of course, being wizards, they're quite dangerous. Each one also has a spell, an element they favor. Well, I died. And that actually gets you a wizard robe color. Oh, okay, so the enchantment actually lasts for a while on the weapon. Where'd my cheese slicer go? Oh well, now I have a flaming sword of death. Yeah, you can... The best way to do this is just self-cast a shield and just walk through it. Death magic? And then ice magic, because what wizards cannot fucking swim still. Still getting used to the new controls. Lightning.
Helde, mer expander dine quester. Hutjer de propepa barn. Ingen barn, ingen hutersa. Ne spatsend langt borti sikken
Nostria the Soothsayer.
Asker factor. Vilsna visi, bara höger.
Walking to the right usually does the trick for some reason. Yeah, he's right. When in doubt, go right. Yes, these four. These are the four old guys you meet as soon as you leave Castle Alderheim the first time. It's because of socioeconomic. You actually get a couple. This is actually how you can set spells. You have 4 slots down here you can use. I don't actually know what slot 3 does. Okay, that's an interesting one. Furious Foul. Arcane. Death, Earth, Death, Earth. And suddenly I'm surrounded by... Oh wow, that's powerful! Yeah, Timmy the training them is a little creepy. QR, QR, D, QR, QR.
Bästa hiva! Twitter, ge bästa hiva! Blimer me. Procedure their other finger. Speller G.
Okay, hold on a second.
Sasser. Ge var nu scared! Chris Schenker! Yeah! You actor done! Scrammer!
Yeah, you do that enough, you get a training sword and a training staff, which... all these weapons do actually have a...
Twinkler star, the smasher booker!
all these weapons do actually have a special ability. Oh, that's cool! Some of these... I don't know why I'm getting all these spells, but... okay, so it's QR, QR, DRR. What does it say? Old Ruins Tours Incorporated. Once was a castle here. It's gone now. Mostly. Lost and found. Pair of glasses. One sweater, size medium unisex. A small measure of peace. One small child, deceased. Terrifying truth about the human condition. Warning. Problems with goblins lately. If you see one, please do not approach it, feed it, or attempt to domesticate it. Also important, do not project human values on feral creatures. Such values are a mere construct to include the chaotic nature of the universe, which these wild creatures understand, unlike some people. Yeah, this game gets into some really weird thoughts and such.
Glomsky.
Oh, I forgot something. Just one thing. Up to 3 friends. It's more dangerous to go with 3 friends. That teaches me revive, which I can't actually use. Hold on a second, I need to check the... it doesn't help me. Chapter 3. Some elements cancel each other out. For example, lightning and water can never coexist, neither can life and death. I can use delete that from your spell queue if you conjure one by mistake. You can also do it the way I do it, which is... this is heal by elements. Horror mothers. Element. Combinations that best suit the situation in hand. Yes, yes we do. Wizards have to be smart. There we go. That's 10 out of 10, actually.